How does clay feel in your hands?
Delicious. Absolutely tantalizingly romantic as well. It's just, it slips through the fingers and it's smooth. It's so versatile. It's so universal.
I am trying to comment on our contemporary condition. So what it means, I'm not just interested in history and then kind of dealing with history. I'm only interested in history in the context of myself, in the context of our time.
But once you start exploring landscape, you'll soon learn that landscape is political. You can't just record landscapes, I can't anyway, without considering the political and economic generators behind those landscapes.
I've been practicing art, let's say professionally, for like 20 years or so. And this was the first time that I ever addressed my heritage, I suppose.
These pieces are so delicate, so beautifully made, and yet they were considered primitive. Today, what I'm doing is saying these technologies, these pieces, the forms, the design, the execution of them, the making of them was and is as good as any other historical piece of work that you find in the rest of the museum.
But by singling out an image, a composition of subjugated body, and then place in an exhibition context, that's the time you actually has a different relationship with the image of violence or with the depiction of violence.
Ceramics has a history of commemorating things, and the tradition is to commemorate happy things. But it seems to me that we also need to remember the things that are not so happy.
And it made so much sense to raise awareness of the inhumane human rights laws and treatments of just people, aren't we? We're just people. We deserve to survive. We deserve to live. We deserve a good education. We deserve the freedom of speech.
You're listening to a preview of New Art, New Perspectives, a production of the Fitzwilliam Museum. I'm Dan Vo, your host for this 5-part look at some of the Fitzwilliam's latest acquisitions and displays. Additions that highlight artists of colour, showcase underrepresented stories, and demonstrate the importance of contemporary art in historic collections. Subscribe and stay tuned to hear my conversations with Magdalene Odundo, Reza Aramesh, Ada Wild, Paul Scott, as well as Elvira Jangoni Ose on behalf of Lynette Yiadom-Boakye. This series is supported by the Charlotte Bonham Carter Trust.